You see me faceting on probably the world's most inexpensive faceting machine called a Template Faceter. It costs you about $5 to make one of these, and you can get into gem cutting, faceting that is, as cheaply and as quickly as easy as that. You just have to cut out some templates, take a 1/2-inch bolt, hex bolt, put it through the center, put a nut in to make it tight. The address is where you have, and then you have an 8-sided or a hexagon shaped, and then of course you have the pentagon and the 5-pointed star. You can go ahead and you can see here I have a nice ruby, and this is set up at about 36 degrees, which as you can see I'm cutting the crown angles. Yes, this is a very simple, cheap and inexpensive little device, and on my website, thegemconnection.com, one word, The Gem Connection, I have an inexpensive CD tutorial that gives you the plans and the drawings and instructions on how to operate one. They're not a toy. What you see here is a professional template. I bought it in Brazil when I was down there about 25 years ago, and I've used it for professional. Rather than have the lines scribed as I have here, this works on a spring plunger, and you turn for your different addresses. That simple. And you can change and move, and as you can see, this is longer. These basically are a little bit too big. I've made them large for video purposes. These are close to 4.5 to 5 inches in diameter. This is only 3 1/4 inches, and it's easier to work with, and it has a longer peg, which functions in faceting as the hypotenuse. The distance between here and the platform, of course, represents the opposite side, and then you have the adjacent side here. And the angle on the stone is determined by the cosine of the opposite side, how high and how low you lift it. In order to cut at a 90-degree angle, you merely bring it down, put it on the platform here. As you can see, I've tailored back this so it works on my machine. Because of the angles that are required to make a device like this facet properly so that your gemstones will perform optically, you have to control the angles very swiftly. How do you know that? In most cases, people say, well, you guess, but you don't really need to do that. In order to make sure that you have a precise 90-degree angle, I went out to a small dollar discount store, bought a carpenter's bubble level and cannibalized it to get the line. Now I just lay it on the top, and this tells me this is precisely 98 degrees. I have a mark here for the all-important 42 degrees. And with these two blocks, my bubble comes up and tells me that I am just a little bit off on the 42, and by lifting it more, then I can get it up to 42 degrees precisely. So a little 50-cent bubble leveler is all you need to confirm and verify that you have. When this stone is done, the stone is removed, flipped over, and then the other side is done. But you can make a very effective faceting machine with just a piece of nylon.